may appear when you observe reality today that the body may be failing in both of those objectives. What, to love the Lord? How can you judge whether or not I'm failing to love the Lord? You ain't in my heart. Hang on, copacetic. What does that mean for the rest of the world, if you would allow me to ask? And mankind as a whole. If Christ believers are failing to place our love of the Father first, because let me digress for a second. Let's be truthful today. Say you were in judgment and you couldn't make up whatever narrative you wanted to. Can you honestly say, and I'm not saying that this doesn't exist out there. I'm not in judgment of anyone. I don't have a heaven and hell to put anyone in. I'm just challenging based upon what the Holy Spirit challenged me and poured into me to pour out on you all. Can we honestly say, if we couldn't lie or couldn't front before one another, that we love the Father firstly in our lives above everything? Our children, our money, our desires, and our ambitious pursuits. Is he first? Do we love him firstly? So what does it mean for the rest of the world and mankind as a whole, beloved, if Christ believers are failing to place our love of the Father first and then closely followed by our love for our neighbor? And I'm not just offering my personal opinion like some people might think this morning. The Christ stated, and we live through the word at Exacting Truth Ministries. The Christ stated in both verses 16 as well as verse 20 of Matthew chapter 7, for example, that the true determination of men and women, whether they are carrying his spirit or not, would be measured by the fruit, or in other words, the results that their lives produce. Look it up. Don't eat out of my hands. A person can say or declare anything that they choose, which is exactly what is going on in spades today. But what is their life and actions actually producing? Let me ask you a question. Are division, deceit, disorder, and ultimately decompression from the faith the fruitful byproducts which the Christ meant for us to see and to produce when he exclaimed in the Gospel of Mark chapter 12 that we should first love the Father and then love one another? Is Christendom supposed to be failing? People vacating houses of faith, tabernacles,